Hello, my name is Seung and Kwak, and today I'd like to tell you about animal life in Fukushima. Recently, I have read a book called Animal Life in Fukushima and have decided to search more about the Fukushima atomic station accident. I think everyone here will remember the terrible catastrophe that happened on June 9, 2011. After the unfortunate mishap, tens of thousands of people evacuated the city, leaving behind most of their belongings, believing that they'll soon come back. Left with their home were the animals. Unlike most of the people's beliefs, the refugees couldn't return to their hometown until now. Then, what happened to those animals? Dogs became stray dogs, and cats became stray cats, which means that they became homeless animals that nobody takes care of. They reproduced, and the population increased. However, there wasn't much to it, so many of them died of hunger. The writer of Animal Life in Fukushima, Mr. Oda, was a photographer, but he volunteered to rescue those unfortunate animals. While he was volunteering, he was shocked. He was literally shocked to see the conditions those animals were in. Although he knew it wasn't enough to save them all, he tried to take pictures of the living hell, as I say, living hell, and let people know about Fukushima. I myself was one of those who saw his pictures and realized the horrifying situation those animals were in. They were dogs who slowly died of hunger because they were still chained to the house and couldn't search for food. And almost all the animals were pitifully thin. The cattle that was set free in the meadow went in search for water and drowned in the irrigation canal. All was quiet in the horse shed, but it was once filled with dying animals. All that was left was bones and skins. Although it was unbelievably painful to watch, it was brutal truth. Now, some of you might wonder, what actions are the Japanese government taking? Let me tell you the hard truth. The government ordered them to dispose the remaining farm animals. Their point was that if those animals were raised to supply meat for the humans, they simply don't have any value as a producer now that they're polluted by radiation. Also, they defined those animals as contaminated and killed most of them, as you see in the picture. Even the press didn't take any interest in them. However, there are some who try to let people know about Fukushima. Mr. Masumura, also known as the last resident of Fukushima, lives in a small village a little way beyond the range of radiation and raises stray animals. He says, leaving those animals to die a slow death is a crime. Mr. Oda photographed him and his animals and even published a book about them called Cats of Fukushima. The Japanese government wants to reset everything back to the beginning, starting by wiping out all the animals. Maybe it's the fastest way to start restoring back to the original state, but it's not the best way. It's unreasonable to wipe out dogs, cats, and farm animals that has lived with the humans for such a long time. That's why people like Mr. Oda took action. They fought against the government, claiming that they cannot kill the animals, as if they're just throwing away trash. What they're doing now may seem subtle. In fact, Mr. Oda said that his works are not much. However, he said that he must do anything within his power to help those dying animals. After I heard his words, I realized that I can do more than just watching and pitying those dying animals. I realized that what seems to be a little act may be of help. Then I thought, if one person gets to know about Fukushima, and tells the other, even by a mere chance, that alone may be called a success. That's why I'm here talking to you right now. Thank you.